What is up, Flav City family? It is Bobby back at the grocery store because you guys have been requesting a nut butter video. And wow, I did a deep dive into research the last week or so, and there's a lot to cover. You'd think it'd be pretty easy, right? Growing up back in my day, it was one thing. You had peanut butter, and that's it. Now we have peanut butter, almond butter, coconut butter, all these different kind of things. And it really boils down to reading the ingredients, because now more than ever, they're sneaking so many low quality, bad ingredients in here in the form of palm oil, sugar, hydrogenated oils. We're also going to talk about no stir, peanut butters and nut butters, why is palm oil and everything, the highest protein, the lowest carb, even jams and jellies. We're going to hook you up big time. So before we start, why don't you hook me up? Click that old subscribe button, because we are rocking 3 videos every week. 2 videos on the weekends and a live stream during the week. So go ahead and click that bell icon right below the video, because you don't want to miss these live streams. We're making a recipe from start to finish, doing Q&A, hanging out. It is a really fun time. All right, let's start with the biggest offenders of all, and unfortunately the kind of peanut butters that Art and I grew up on. Skippy, Jif, and Peter Pan, right? All you have to do, you guys, is look at the ingredients. That is the theme of this video. Read the ingredients. If it's not 2 ingredients, nuts and salt, put it back. So we go to the back of the ingredients of Skippy, and it has peanuts, but then sugar, hydrogenated vegetable oil containing cotton and soybean, and rapeseed oil. Cottonseed oil is one of the cheapest, most agricultural oils you can get. It's terrible for you. It's highly processed with high amount of chemicals. Then we go to the Jif, and the Jif has peanuts and sugar, fully hydrogenated vegetable oils once again, and molasses, and a bunch of added sugar here. So really low quality oils. And why do they put these oils in here, including in the Peter Pan? Because they make it more shelf stable. It'll last longer on the shelf, and it makes it creamier. It essentially makes it no stir. And I know we all want no stir. Someone on Instagram said, hey, please tell me a good, healthy no stir. Well, I got news for you. If you ever see the words no stir on a label, put it back immediately, because what are peanuts, butters, and nut butters made from? Nuts that have fat. So it's 100% natural to see the separation of fat and the nuts, because that's what happens when you grind nuts. When you put palm oil and hydrogenated oils in here, that makes it stir-free. You don't want that. So that's a telltale sign that you want to put it back. Now, I would much rather you guys buy organic peanut and organic almond butter, because I've talked about this in the past. Peanuts are legumes. They grow in the ground. They're heavily sprayed with pesticides and chemicals. And almond trees, even though they're trees, they spray the ground around the almond a lot, because when they shake the almond trees, they don't want any grass and shrubs there to impede the picking up process, which leaches into the almonds. So I prefer you buy organic. That being said, it's very tricky with nut butters, because if they add anything else to the butter, I'd rather you not buy organic. So this one here from Maranatha is organic, but if you look at the label, it's made with palm oil. We're going to talk about palm oil in a few minutes, but I would stay away from that because it's a really bad oil. I would rather you go to the conventional, because I don't want you having anything besides the nuts and the salt. So I would put this one back. And instead, there's a couple options here at Walmart. This is a really cool brand, Crazy Richards. So check it out. If I show you the ingredients here, there's one ingredient, peanuts. That's it. So that's why I prefer this, right? There's no hydrogenated oils, there's no sugar, there's no palm oil. I'd much rather trade down to conventional versus organic if they don't add those ingredients. That being said, there's a couple really accessible options here at Walmart. First of all, Smucker's, right? Smucker's makes a natural peanut butter that only has peanuts and a little bit of salt. Very, very good. And Smucker's has the organic here, which is just peanuts and salt. 2 great options that I would totally have. And then you can also get the organic Walmart brand too. All it has is peanuts and salt. Now, looking at the ingredient list, the critic inside me says, what kind of salt do they use? When we're done with this video, watch our salt review video. I would much rather they use like a natural sea salt. When they don't say it like that specifically, they're using typical bleached agricultural salt, which if you watch the video, it's highly bleached and highly processed, but it's a little bit of a too deep of a dive for this video. I'm just happy they're not putting other stuff in here, but I'll show you, for example, like these are XOXO. It's a premium nut butter, and actually they have it at Costco for a much better price. And look at the ingredients on the back here. They're using Celtic sea salt and really clean ingredients here. If your child has a peanut allergy or you have a peanut allergy, you can't have this one, but you can have the Nutso Power Fuel. It's peanut free, but it still does have tree nuts in there. That being said, that leads us to the best alternative if you have a tree nut or peanut allergy. That would be right here. It's gonna be sunflower seed butter, but you don't wanna get this brand because we look at the back here, it's got sugar in here. We don't need to add sugar to butters. They have 2 sunflower seed butters at Trader Joe's. One of them has sugar added them, the other one doesn't. If you're AIP and you have an autoimmune protocol diet, you can't have any of that. There's only 2 things you could have. You could have coconut butter or tiger nut butter, which is actually a tuber. Those 2 are available online. Don't buy the coconut butter in the store. I'm gonna show you at the next one. It's way too expensive. Buy it on Amazon. I'll put the link down below. And then there's something that even Art was not even impressed with, Wow Butter, because even though it's approved for school and it's nut-free, look at the ingredients. It's whole toasted soy and pressed soy oil. Does it say anywhere? Yes, it says it's non-GMO certified, so that's good. Then it has cane sugar and palm sugar. The thing is, I would not give the soy to the kids because it can disrupt your hormone development, and when you're a kid, that's really important. So I would say no to this. Stick with the sunflower seed butter that has no additional palm oil or sugar. And then that brings us to peanut butter powders. Now there's 2, this is the main brand, PB2. I'm going to tell you to stay away from this one because look at the ingredients. It has added sugar here. If you're going to get it, you're much better off getting the Walmart brand. It's really cheap, but it has the added sugar, which bothers me. The cool thing is there's a powdered almond butter here from Barney. And while you'll see at the next grocery store, I don't want you to buy the Barney almond butter because it has additional ingredients. This one doesn't. It's just blanched almonds and it's the powder here. So it is lower fat. Great for smoothies, great for cooking and sauces. Now that brings us to one of the most common questions I got on Instagram about making this video. Which, by the way, if you're not following me on the Flay City Instagram stories, get on that because we make dinner every night on stories and it's a lot of fun. People wanted to know, what's the deal with palm oil? Look at the back of all of these different brands. They all have palm oil in here, even like a premium brand like Maranatha. And I want you to run. Run, Forrest, run. Run for the hills from palm oil because it's an oil that is relatively cheap. It's really bad for the environment, but it's also really bad for your health. Okay, it's not quite as bad as a partially hydrogenated fat or a fully hydrogenated fat, but it's really, really bad for your health. The reason why these makers love palm oil is because it's relatively inexpensive, but it does 2 things. It extends the shelf life for the peanut butter really far, and it makes the texture really silky and creamy, almost like that no stir, because people don't want to see that separation here. You don't see the separation, you don't see the separation. That's why brands like it. That's why you have to stay away from it. Even the Sam's Choice one from Walmart is a no-no. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this now, we might as well. Raw almond butter was a huge, huge topic. And can you see the price, Art? Why is the price of this $15.48, whereas the other almond butter is $6.98? Biggest farce maybe in this aisle is raw almond butter. I did a deep dive about what it means to be raw. Smoke and mirrors, my friends. There's no such thing as raw almonds in the US. It's not allowed to sell raw almonds. So there's 2 ways to pasteurize almonds. You can steam pasteurize them up to 165 degrees, essentially cooking them. Or what most manufacturers are doing now is they're gassing them. They're putting the almonds in a chamber and gassing them with propylene oxide, or PPO. That is a gas that pasteurizes them without warming them up too much. Propylene oxide is a chemical that's deemed by the WHO, the World Health Organization, as a carcinogen. I have to do a much deeper dive to find out what brands are doing this and which ones aren't. But going back to my original point, raw almond butter is a joke because it's being pasteurized. What happens when you pasteurize a product? Well, you kill the bad bacteria, but you also kill all the good ones too. Maybe there's a few left over, but is it worth paying an extra $10 per jar for? No. So do not buy raw almond butter. I think it's one of the biggest jokes here. And when we go to the next grocery store, I've seen containers even bigger than this for higher prices. Total waste of money. All right, some other really popular questions on Instagram stories was which nut butter has the highest protein? That would be peanut butter. Peanut butter has the highest protein, but it's followed right behind by almond butter. We're talking like a 1 gram difference per serving. Which of the nut butters are the lowest carb? once again, almond butter. Right? There are other low-carb nut butters like macadamia nut and hazelnut and Brazil nut, but those start to get really expensive. So I think we covered almost everything at this grocery store. Let's go to Whole Foods because they have some other brands that you might think are premium, but once you start to read the labels, it's shocking. And I want to warn you before you waste your money, before we head over there, you guys, on August 3rd, I'm doing a cookbook party in Chicago. It's going to be huge. We're serving recipes from the cookbook. I'll be doing a cooking demo there too, and we only have about 70 tickets left. It's going to be super fun. I'm going to put that link down in the description box. If you live in the area or you feel like taking a road trip, you can hang out with me, Art, Dessi, maybe my dad, Johnny P. It's going to be a super fun time, so I hope to see you there. All right, new store, Whole Foods. You might think there's going to be a few more premium options here, but you got to read the ingredients because it's very deceiving. Starting with a brand called Barney Butter. They make almond butter and peanut butter. Looks clean, looks premium. It's $12.99 for this. But look at the ingredients, you guys. Almonds, cane sugar, palm fruit oil. This is not even worth $2. I would not buy this. And then another brand here is Justin's, right? They've been around for a long time. Peanuts and palm oil. I mean, it's ridiculous they're charging this much and putting low quality, hydrogenated style palm oil in here. And look, you can just tell visibly when there's no separation of the fat and the nut, that means it's mixed with palm oil and stuff you don't want to have. So Justin's, all Justin's is a no. This brand here, look at this prices are. Artisana or organic raw, these prices are insulting. $21 for a container this big. No, we know now that nothing's raw, and that is just insulting. Then we go to something like RX. RX bars are making peanut butter now. I'm mad at myself because I approved on the Bobby approved list the RX bars at the Costco snack haul the other week. I missed it. They have natural flavoring, so that's my bad. Thank you guys for leaving comments in the description box. Those are a hard no. But we look at the butters here, and they're using honey as a sweetener and natural flavorings again. So this is a no too. And here at Whole Foods, they have the Nutso, but they have a chocolate brand. And look at the ingredients. Even though it has a touch of sugar, it's coconut sugar, which is a better all-natural sweetener that's lower on the glycemic index. And it only has 2 grams of sugar. So this would actually be an okay chocolate one to give the kids. They also make a version of Nutso at Trader Joe's, and it's way cheaper. And by the way, all the peanut butters and almond butters from Trader Joe's are good to go. The cashew butter has safflower oil, which is a no, and sunflower seed, they have 2. One is good and one is bad. A lot of you guys on Instagram are asking about these, the nut grinding machines here at Whole Foods or your local grocery store. Yes, use these because you know what goes in there. One ingredient, the nuts. The price is pretty good, and it's about as fresh as you can get. Going back to the sunflower butter, in case you have a tree nut allergy, this is interesting because the conventional style sunflower butter has sugar in here, and the organic one doesn't. So you basically have to pay the organic price of $9.99 to get the sugar-free version. The conventional one is $6.99, so I don't know why they do that for just the organic version. And then look down here really quick. Tahini. This was requested on Instagram. Tahini is one of my favorite things. I use it a lot in the keto meal prepping cookbook out right now. And if you live in the Middle East, this is your version of peanut butter. When you're buying tahini, make sure it's runny, loose, and pourable. For example, the one at Trader Joe's is the worst. It's very thick, and it doesn't pour at all. If it doesn't pour like runny peanut butter, don't buy it. This is one of the best values, the Whole Foods 365, and I'll put the other list down below. But if you haven't experimented yet with tahini, it's really, really good for you. It's made from sesame seeds, and it's delicious. Okay, before we talk about jams and jellies, I brought in my outside groceries. Costco has an amazing price on organic nuts and salt only peanut butter. This is fantastic. They used to have organic almond butter too. If you still have it at your Costco, scoop that. The deal is amazing. Otherwise, the Kirkland almond butter is just almonds and salt. Fantastic deal. Now, very easy. When it comes to jams and jellies, you want to buy ones that are either no sugar added, reduced sugar, or sugar-free completely. So I look at something like this. Crofters, there's no added sugar, right? It's grape juice, wild blueberries, pectin, and citric acid. That's it. Or something like this Bio Nature. It's from Italy. It has no added sugar. It's just the sugar from the cherries, apple juice concentrate, and that's it. I'm going to put a list down below of all the reduced and sugar-free jams and jellies. Trader Joe's has reduced sugar in strawberry and blueberry. There's 2 sugar-free ones only available online. There's one called Good Sweet Jam made with stevia. That's a good one. I'll put the Amazon link down below. And one called Nature's Hollow, which is made with xylitol, which is not my favorite sweetener, but I'll put that link down below too. So that is it, you guys. I think we just covered all of the peanut and nut butters you could possibly want. Now, I know there's a lot of information in this video. I'm going to put it all down in the description box, the good, the bad, what to look for, all that other stuff. Let me know what you want to see next, right? The grocery store is a big, wild, mysterious place, and Art and I are here to solve all your problems. We got 2 more links, 2 more videos going below us right now, but Art and I will see you very soon. Until then, hashtag keep on cooking, mad love, and peace.